Hey everybody, welcome to the Out the Trunk Pile with Jordan and Darius. This is our movie review segment. My name is Jordan. You can find me on all socials at Jordy B Writing.
And I'm Darius. That's D's all up in your area on all socials.
And today we're going to be reviewing The Judge. This movie came out in 2014, starring Robert Downey Jr., yes, Iron Man, Robert Duvall, Vera Farmiga, Vincent D'Onofrio, Jeremy Strong, Dax Shepard, Billy Bob Thornton, Leighton Meester. This movie is about a high-profile Chicago lawyer who returns to his small hometown for his mother's funeral. He's forced to confront his estranged, respected, but stern father, who's also the town judge, who is soon suspected of murder. The son must put aside their bitter differences to defend his father in a high-stakes courtroom drama. So I'm going to toss it to you to open up Act One.
Act one, we're going to call The Homecoming and the Accusation. Hank, a successful and arrogant Chicago defense attorney, returns to his Indiana hometown for his mother's funeral, forcing a tense reunion with his two brothers and his estranged, rigid father, Judge Joseph Palmer. Their strained relationship and family secrets resurface as Hank attempts to leave, only to learn the judge is suspected of a serious crime. Off the rip, Robert Downey Jr. is an elite actor, and I will never forgive
Yes.
Marvel for what they took from us for all that time. He could have done so much iconic stuff, and he decided to tell bad jokes in a costume. I will never, ever. Anyone seen Mahershala Ali? Where's he? Like, what's he
Yeah,
been
no,
up to?
they put that nigga on the shelf. They
Just
put that nigga on the craziest shelf.
they
All
just
that for a movie that ended up not getting made, bro.
they just absorb
Somebody at Marvel
careers.
needs to go to jail for what the fuck they did to him.
He was at the highest of highs, and
Yeah.
no one's heard from. Also, that
It's a
openings,
vampire story. How can you not figure that out? I don't. What
it
the
can't
fuck?
be that hard to write a script for fucking Blade, man.
No, bro. Just get some pretty black people, throw on some leather. I don't understand.
I will say the opening song, I looked it up. It's called Phantom Witness. It has to be like the universal, this movie is serious opening song for all of Hollywood.
Oh, yep,
Like,
yep.
it's like, as soon as it starts, I'm just like, I know that song. It is just
Yep. That
every
little
movie plays
piano.
it. Just like, okay, lock in because we're
Yeah.
about to
All
cry.
right.
What you got for Act One?
Um, first of all, I fucking love this movie. This cast is loaded. Everyone drops 40 in this bitch. But I love that the opening scene of this movie where it starts out with like a almost like a relic of each of the characters'
Yeah.
interests. Like it starts out with the judge's glasses and this on his desk with the newspaper. Then you see the baseball glove, and then you see the camera for the other son, and then you see the hydrangeas for the mother. And then you don't see anything for Robert Downey Jr.'s character, which is kind of his place in the family as the black sheep. I thought that was a super dope detail right there.
Yeah, I'm sorry for yawning. Yeah, I agree. Did they ever explain why Robert Downey was like the black like what did he do? I didn't watch the movie. I like they kind of said the dad hated them, but I never got why.
Yeah. So remember he got stoned with his brother and they were driving and
Oh
he
yeah,
wrecked
yeah,
the car
yeah.
and that
He's the one who
basically
was yeah.
that
Oh,
ruined the brother's baseball career.
it's
Um,
I mean
and
that's
I think the older brother was the dad's favorite, honestly, and I think that's really what it was. I
because
think
the older kid plays sports and
right
okay, that does make sense. Sorry, I missed that. I was just like
because he was supposed to go pro basically. So I think it was like, oh, you ruined my favorite kid's shot at a huge future. So fuck you
barbershops
forever,
across
basically.
America are filled with dudes who thought they'd go pro if if
Yeah.
they didn't hurt their knee. So what else
Yeah.
you got for Act One?
Um, I love that they subtly showed he still, as much as he hated his father, he still had a great relationship with his mother, or still had love for his mother. With where the fact that he had hydrangeas at his house and he was watering them, when
I
he
mean,
found out
as
she
he's pulling
died,
off in the
or
car, he's like, "Take care of my hydrangeas." We didn't know
yeah,
why, but yeah, I mean, it made sense. It's often the case when the relationship is strained between one parent, the other parent like
hmm
secretly keeps it, keeps
keeps in
tabs,
touch.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
yeah.
like that. Even just like man, like I know this movie's supposed to be like it's just a strained relationship between father and son, which it is. But his dad was a fucking piece of shit. Like I'm just gonna keep it a stack with you. Like,
Yes.
yo, like first of all, for me, if one of your kids doesn't fuck with you, you're a piece of shit. That's just like my general rule in life. Because kids are so forgiving, and every kid wants their parents to be their hero. So for your kid to like actively reject you from their life, you had to be on some wild shit.
I mean, what he said
Even the
about what he said about his wife having an affair was just insane.
fucking, I would have swung on him. I'm sorry, I'd have swung on that nigga.
I mean, that's just an absolute. I wouldn't even say it to someone I didn't know, much less my child.
Bro,
That
like,
is
yeah, that's fucking crazy. Um, Even like remember at the repast where he sees him and he's like giving everybody hugs and he calls him Henry and shakes his hand like they're fucking business associates.
did that feel a little cartoonish to you at some points?
Honestly,
I've
I
seen
would
some
say
strained parent-son-child relationships.
I don't know, man. I've seen some wild shit. Like I've seen some crazy shit like that. Like I've seen
Incapable of being cordial at your wife and mother's funeral. That, that,
uh
that felt a
I
little cartoonish to me.
I don't know, man. My grandma passed almost a year ago to the day. Actually, 3 days from now it'll be a year ago to the day.
Sorry to hear that.
And yeah, rest in peace. She's in a better place. And like the shit that people were saying to and about each other during that week when we were all back in town, like it was like, oh no, like y'all are not only are y'all as bad as I remember, y'all are worse. Like y'all have gotten worse as human beings. I don't know, dude. I've seen some crazy shit, bro. Like I've seen like where, parents pit like create this like competition between the siblings and that they act like you can tell they want that between the siblings.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I mean, I've never seen it so much where I'm not gonna hug you and shake everyone else's hand, but I've seen that energy before, at functions and stuff and at events.
I've certainly seen dysfunctional families before, but they usually can keep it tight for a funeral. You know, like usually it's like in the interest of respect for the deceased, well,
Yeah,
you ain't
you
gotta,
think?
you ain't gotta throw a parade, but just hey, how's it going? Oh, cool, da 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 da.
Yeah,
Pivot.
I get it. I mean, in
Like
general, usually you see that, and then the bullshit starts. So that's fair. That's fair. That's a
maybe
fair
just
point.
because like it's not that I'm a pushover or
Right.
I'm just not like. I'm just not too. It's fine. I can say hello. I can do some pleasantry, even if I
Right.
fucking hate the person. It's just not that hard. Like to
Right.
like it's just it's really. I don't find it difficult to just be like, hey, how's it going? How's the kids? Da 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 da. Okay, cool. All right. That's it. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to. To me, obviously, this is a movie.
Right.
You're putting your feelings ahead of the bigger picture when you decide
Hmm.
to bring up petty
Correct.
grievances
That's
at
fair. That's true.
in public spaces where it's just wildly inappropriate. So
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, he definitely could have handled that. Well, he could have handled everything better.
yeah.
To me, I agree. So I actually wanted to ask you, do you think? Because I like that they showed like the wife. He did have a great relationship with his wife, and he's crying at the grave site and all that. So I wanted to ask you, do you think it's possible to love your spouse that much but hate the people you made with her?
Well, you only hated one.
Well, true.
But
Yeah.
like, oh
Which
yeah,
actually to
for
me makes
sure.
it worse because if he hated all of them, he'd be like, okay, you're just a piece of shit. But to hate one child so egregious, so aggressively was insane to me.
One people hold multitudes, so yes, I do think it's possible.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't categorize the, I wouldn't categorize it as hate. I would
Hmm.
say he felt like you robbed my oldest son of his dream and then left to
Hmm.
go live yours. And you didn't, and I like now I have an adult dependent child that, I'm solely responsible for while you get to
Right.
live the big shot life in Chicago. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of resentment,
Resentment. Hmm.
latent resentment for small town people to the people who leave and go
Yes.
do
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
and so you have that
Because
added
one
on to
kid
the
always
fact that
stays.
one kid always stays. You have the fact that he left and he's probably a snob about it. He's probably always talking
Hmm.
about the yokels back home. And you were primarily responsible for the injury that is the reason why, like, having like a mentally incapacitated adult child is just a lot. It's very labor intensive work.
Hmm.
And that's a reminder every day, of it. And, you know,
Yeah. Oh no, no, no. The
it's not.
the the brother with the mental issues, he wasn't in the car.
Oh shit. Well, never
It
mind.
was just it was
Uh,
the big brother, dude from Law and Order.
Okay, well, it's the point stands. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
robbed the oldest son of his dream, and then you left to go live
Hmm.
yours, and you're a snob about it. Because I mean, he
Right.
wasn't. I could tell he was a snob about it just by.
Yeah.
Let me just. I also wanted to point out the mismatch in lifestyles. Scott has this fly ass crib and these vintage
Yeah.
cars, and he's in last row of coach on the plane. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, that
Uh,
was didn't make any sense at all. Like you're not private or first class?
He'd be first class. He wouldn't be private. But
Yeah, true,
like
true.
you know that doesn't like you're his big shot attorney. And you enroll 36C. I don't believe it.
I agree. That's a good
But no,
point.
I don't
Yeah.
think he hated them. I think that
Yeah.
human beings are complicated, and there's a lot of resentment for the small town people toward the people who left, and then he's a snob
Hmm.
about leaving, and then you also left after injuring your brother. So, but do I
Yeah.
think it's possible? Yes, I do think it is possible to hold those two things in conflict.
Yeah. I think because they never really said at what age the separation started. So I wonder if it was maybe he just was rebellious and doing stupid kid shit, and then his dad was such a hard ass by his standard that was just like beyond the pale, and then the car accident was just like the final straw type shit. I mean, they didn't really explain it all, the timeline of it. But
Not
remember,
showing
like you
up to your
say,
kid's graduation is
high
absolutely
school
insane.
and I was gonna say, yeah, high school and college and law school is fucking crazy.
Uh, did I ever tell the story about the dare to not do drugs speech that I
Yeah,
think I
yeah,
did. Yeah, I'm getting
yeah.
old. I'm repeating stories on the podcast. I still haven't lived that down. That was a fucking fifth grade like after
Yeah.
school special speech. The idea that you would miss graduation is just patently absurd. I've never even
Yeah,
heard
no,
of anything like
actually,
that.
yeah, I remember my eighth grade ceremony. I like didn't tell my mom there was one, I guess, and she was like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
Yeah.
Like,
The teachers called
um,
my parent, my parents. Well, my mom answered the phone and was like insinuated she was neglectful. She was like, "These things are important, and you should show up."
what the fuck is she talking about?
You ready to do Act Two?
Yeah.
Act Two: The Defense and Discovery. Despite their mutual contempt, Hank reluctantly stays to represent his father in court, beginning a complex, high-stakes trial. As the courtroom drama unfolds, Hank's investigation into the case uncovers dark family secrets, a past tragedy, and a surprising private struggle his proud father is facing. Shout out to getting that old thing back in your hometown. In
Yeah.
totally unrelated news, I will be back home next month. Leave that right there. What you got for Act Two?
I actually have a question I want to ask you. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it now then. So, say you come back to your hometown and you see your old flame, and she has a kid that looks like their age could be around the time y'all like last saw each other. What do you do? Like, would you ask her?
Oh, thinking is mine.
Yeah.
Ooh, um, is there a dude in the picture? Are we mapping the
No.
movie over where there's no?
Yeah, yeah, mapping the movie over. Yeah, yeah.
No, I would ask. Yes, I would leave it alone because if there's a dude in the picture,
Hmm.
I'm not
Yeah,
tearing that up.
right.
But
Yeah.
if she's just a single mom,
There's a joke there. I'm not gonna say it.
if she's just a single mom, then I would probably I would have to know, so I would ask. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um, Also, I'd be really disappointed because damn, she was fine.
yeah. Is that so that's what I had a question. So did you see Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
Is that the same old lady back in your hometown thing
Same actress?
character? Yes, because I didn't look it up
No, no,
because
no, no,
one of
no.
the
No, that's a different actress.
okay.
So the one in this movie, I actually love her, Vera Farmiga. She was in Up in the Air with George Clooney. She was the love interest in The Departed, Leo and Matt Damon's.
Oh, she's the Conjuring lady, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's her. Yeah, and she was in what was that show on FX about Norman Bates and his mom? Bates Motel.
Okay.
Yeah, she was
Uh,
in that show. Yeah,
very talented actress, but no.
yes, she's great in everything.
If I returned back home and an old fling had a child that looked suspiciously like me, if she brought it up first, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, right.
I would only
Like they're
ask
in
if it.
college already. Like what do you even do at that point? I don't know, you know?
I would ask if she were single.
Yeah.
But if she was married or had kids, and
Hmm.
I'm not injecting myself into that. So,
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah.
uh, what else you got for Act Two?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say both ways Bobby is a crazy fucking nickname to call another man.
In those small towns, man, being gay is like being antichrist.
No, yeah, seriously, yeah. Like that's
It is
like
not.
you're literally putting your life at risk.
I mean,
Or
not
not,
so
let
much
me phrase that.
anymore,
You're not
but
putting your
like
life at risk, but your life could be at risk
you
because of
are.
the way people treat LGBT communities in small towns.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's no. You are risking lowering your quality of life. We'll put it that way.
Yes. And
Like
remember
people
that
will treat you
this was
differently.
basically in the 80s. Remember,
Yeah,
like they graduated high school in the 90s, so
yeah.
early 90s. So that's
America
a
is a
tough
big
time.
country, and some of them backwoods are rural as hell.
Backwoods. Yes.
So,
Yeah, man. I remember I went to a friend's house for cookout in Zebulon a few months ago.
yeah,
And Zebulon's like really like kind of like out kind of in the sticks. And I was driving, I saw a gas station and it just looked like I wasn't welcome in there. Like
yeah. Um, you know, just if you ever was it the Green Book?
hmm
We it's not totally irrelevant. Like
Yeah,
get
no,
your
yeah,
gas during
yeah.
the daytime.
Yes, yes, yes. And use
Uh,
cruise control.
yeah. Yeah, well, these cars now will tell you to the mile when you need some gas. So sorry for
True.
stamping away
That
from
is
the
also
mic,
helpful.
but
Oh, no, you're good.
so his dad gets popped for vehicular manslaughter. Was it? I mean, it ended up being first degree murder, but that
Voluntary
was
manslaughter.
yeah, first degree murder was overcharging. But
Yeah.
um, let me just say, jury selection is bullshit. Like you shouldn't like the fact that you can pick and choose the jury
Yeah.
if it's going to be. Because what happens if you allow jury strikes is that the only people who are on juries are people who can't get out of being on juries. And
Right.
there's a self-selecting mechanism there. That's why I always say,
Hmm.
people, if you can, especially black people, and you get called for
Yes.
jury duty, you should do it because we are, you know, there's a lot of bias in jury selection.
Yeah.
They can
You
strike
could
you
be
for
making the
any
choice of
reason.
someone being free or not.
And it's important. It's a civic duty, and it's important that our juries aren't solely just the people who can't get out of it, because the people who can't get out of jury duty are the people who are too dumb to figure it out. And
Exactly.
so, I guess I always say if I get called for jury duty, I'm going to do it
Yeah.
because it's my civic duty, and it's important for Black people to do it because we're underrepresented, and there are
Hmm.
biases in court systems that for
Correct.
everyone, and it helps to have diverse juries. So, just wanted to get that out there. What else you
That's very
got for Act
important.
Two?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say, so they mentioned the fact that the father was at one point an alcoholic and is now recovering and sober. And I just want to say, if that's how this motherfucker was acting when he was sober, when he was drinking and they were little kids, he had to have been a fucking terror.
I don't think he was winning any Father of the Year awards.
No, not at all. And he
That's
was a judge. He could do whatever he wanted.
I mean, judges, especially in those small towns, man, have
Fuck yeah.
immense authority.
You're like the mayor.
Pretty much more powerful than the mayor.
Yeah, shit, more powerful.
So
Yeah.
in them towns, the mayor is a figurehead. So,
Hmm.
you know,
True.
but I want to say, as someone who, what am I? I'm 37, and my father, I think his birthday is next month. I'm not gonna. I think he's in his 60s or something. Just the whole father slowing down thing
Hmm.
is become like pops hit 60 and they hit the 70. I mean, this guy was 74 in the movie, 72, 72.
Yeah, 72.
Um, and it's just like it just kind of hit me a little different when it's just like, man,
Hmm.
your parent, no one, nothing prepared you for your parents aging, and so
No.
um, there's a what is that? The John Mayer song "Stop This Train," and when he's just
Hmm.
like, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to see my parents grow old, and it just,
Yeah.
it's just this, the song is called "Stop This Train" because he wants to stop the train of life because it just keeps moving and there's nothing you can do.
Hmm.
And it's one of my favorite John Mayer songs, and it reminded me when I was listening to this, just like seeing his parents age and
Yeah.
um, there's a line in the song where he's like, what does he say? He says, so scared of getting older. I'm only good at being young. And it's just like, I kind of felt it because he's just like, he comes home and his dad, like especially when you move away, when you come home and everyone just ages and
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
just don't see it because you're around them so often. You're around them
Hmm.
not often. And then you just come back and like, you notice that things
It smacks you in the
change
face.
and, their gait's a little different. They're just not as witty, and it's just
Hmm.
like, when did this happen? And it's just like, well, did it while you were away?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's just so. Anyways, what else you got for Act Two?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, and my parents are relatively young. They're in their late 50s, you know. But like remember like my mom had ankle surgery a year and a half ago, and that was, a temporary situation, but it was like for those few months, it was like, damn, like this is what it would be like, when they get older and stuff. And um like, my dad, like he's getting to the age where like he's starting to need glasses, but it's like
Yep.
gradual because we'd be out to eat and he would like not tip by accident. And they'd be like, "You sure this is what you mean?" And he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, let me give you 20 more bucks or whatever." Like, you know what I mean? Like subtle shit like that. Um, so it's not sad because they're just, getting a little bit older, but
I mean, the
you start to
alternative is
think about,
worse, but
well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right. I'd rather them age than.
the alternative.
Um, right. So yeah, that shit does kind of start to hit you subtly, or even like, like my dad lives a few hours away, which is not crazy far, but we see each other every few weeks, every couple months, depending on who's busy or traveling. And you kind of like notice like, oh man, like he's like his beard's more gray, or stuff like that.
It happens quick, man.
Yeah.
When you're hitting I think it's like your mid 40s is when you're the sandwich generation. Your parents are aging into needing more help, and then you
Hmm.
have kids who obviously they're kids, they need help, and so you're just kind of
Hmm.
juggling. You know,
Taking care of people.
you're re-raise like you have to like you re-raise your parents. They become infants again,
Yeah.
and so
Right.
it's tough. It's tough. Was
Yeah.
that bathroom scene the most powerful in the movie to you?
Um, I won't say it
Yeah.
was the most powerful for me. It's definitely one of them because I mean, yeah, eventually we're all, Lord willing, we're all going to have to do that for
Yeah.
our parents. We hope that they are old enough to, in a weird way, to be able to have that problem, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, and I mean, they did that for us for fucking, until we were three. So it's the least we can do to pay them back, obviously.
I just feel like something changed with Robert Downey Jr.'s character
Yeah,
in the sense that like that's when he's
it humanized him, his
he
father in his
humanized the
eyes.
father. He was not like the evil judge. He became his like actual father. And
Yeah,
they were it was like that after that scene they became father and son. And then
yeah,
honestly the movie gets a little long in the tooth after that. But
right.
that's kind of where I
Yeah,
like it was almost like a transition after that scene to where they were like adversaries and then they became like partners in whatever endeavor they were
yeah, I
going on.
agree. It's
So
it's funny to say that. So I just finished Will Smith's book called Will, and his dad passed away from cancer maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. And his dad, he had a somewhat contentious relationship with his father. His father was alcoholic and was abusive to his mom and stuff like that. So he, naturally growing up had certain negative feelings towards his dad. And he said, when his dad got older, when his dad got cancer, like he wasn't the big ogre, scary ogre to me anymore. He just was like a man, and you could see like the scared child inside of him. And he said like that, humanized him a lot. And he said there were similar experiences, with the bathroom scene and
yeah.
stuff like that, where you have to take care of your father, and it's like, man, it's just a person, that had problems and mistakes and didn't know how to deal with them, and that I know I have to like forgive and try to move my relationship with him before it's time to go.
One of the hardest things about adulthood is realizing your parents aren't actually superheroes. They're just people.
Yes, that is very true.
And as the old saying goes, once a man, twice a child. So
Yep.
you'll be sandwiched there. Anything else for Act Two?
Um, yeah, so I wanted to talk about the cancer diagnosis and all that. Um, I just thought it was fucking crazy to me that he just like hid from his children that he had cancer stage 4 for a year, and then was just like working every day, like like the shit was normal. I personally don't think he should have been working. I think that was really selfish because you were in obviously no condition to be presiding over legal matters. I think that actually was pretty narcissistic on his part, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the first scene, he's like making some guy give his car keys to his ex, and I don't even think you can do that. But
Yeah, that was
that was
crazy.
some small town shit. No,
Right.
I get it in the sense that once you tell someone you are terminally ill,
Hmm.
you see you. I've always said I wouldn't tell anyone. I just wouldn't. I
Mm.
would. One, I don't like attention, and two, um, once you tell people I would cease being Darius and I would just become the sick guy. And that's
Yeah.
all people like I've read about this stuff. What was it when breath turns to air? Was that doctor who wrote the book as he was dying? And
Mm.
he's just like, it's literally all anyone ever wants to talk about. Like no one ever asked me about a TV show anymore.
Yeah.
No one ever asked me about the
Yeah.
game. And he's just like, I wouldn't want that. I would rather people treat me like Darius until the end.
Hmm.
I wouldn't tell anyone.
I get
I
that.
would go out like Chadwick. Like you, I
Yeah.
would 100%. No one knew with Chadwick except for like his wife and
Yeah,
kids,
his family knew.
presumably.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But like Ryan Coogler didn't know, Michael B. Jordan didn't
Yeah.
know. And that's I imagine it's something similar to that, where it's just like
Yeah.
you become your disease. That's all anyone ever wants to talk about. So no, I wouldn't tell
Right.
anyone. I get it. I do.
That's true. Um, Also, I do want to just a little footnote here. The fact that he was like, "Oh, I don't want my legacy to be ruined," like Ulysses S. Grant and Ronald Reagan. First of all, Ulysses S. Grant, he won the Union and he beat the Confederacy and went on to help black people in the Restoration era, sorry, Reconstruction era. Ronald Reagan, on the other hand, is looking up on us smiling right now because the shit he did to black and brown people in the 80s was fucking crazy. And I don't know what proud legacy there is to honor about him, respectfully. So I just
It's
need to
funny
get that off my
though.
chest.
Um, I agree with you, Ulysses S. Grant. Although he did sort of botch the Reconstruction era.
Fair.
But my funny, it's this internet thing where everyone treats Ronald Reagan like the boogeyman, and then you look at his electoral maps, and it's like, I don't know, man. He was like one of the most popular presidents ever. People
I
talk.
think
Here's
niggas
the
just
thing,
like his movies. I think niggas
people
just like his
talk
movies
about
and didn't
Ronald
know his
Reagan.
politics.
People talk about Ronald Reagan like he's the character from House of Cards where he just like got into the White House on accident. His
No,
second
fair.
election, he won 49 states in 84. He was an
No,
immensely
he
popular
was
president.
crazy popular. Yes,
Like,
he also was very evil to black people.
but the people, black people could vote back then. Like
I know. I
he
still
won
don't
these
get that.
elections fair and square.
I know, I understand it, but I just could not let that slide in this movie where they were acting like he was like he tried to moralize him like it was like people do JFK, and it was just like,
That-
no, 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 that's not the same.
Well, I imagine he was just a conservative white dude in small town Indiana.
Well, yeah, to him,
They,
he probably was a
yeah.
hero, but I just had to get that off my chest. As a poli
I
sci
just
major, I needed to say that. I needed to say that.
I just find it so funny how the internet treats Ronald Reagan like he like stole an election or like he snuck into the White House and like he wasn't one of the most popular presidents in United States history.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody
all I'll
like
say
those
is
shit. He
this:
won two elections in
the
landslides. Uh,
black unemployment rate basically tripled during his time in office, and
I
was
mean,
nearly 50% for black male teenagers.
I don't think he was he was a good steward
He
of the
cut a lot
government.
of funding that helped a lot of people.
I mean, his vice president signed the Americans with Disabilities Act. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. He won the two elections and his vice president won a third. He basically won three elections.
No, I get it. I understand. I get it. I
It's
just
just
couldn't let that pass.
I just
I'm
find it
sorry.
fascinating how different we will never see another president win 49 states.
No, never,
It's
never.
just
Well,
how
if we ever
different
see
he's
another president,
yeah, oh, we will. But the Ronald Reagan thing is so fun. Listen,
yeah,
I wouldn't have I wasn't alive, but I wouldn't have voted for him
yeah, I wouldn't have voted for him. Yeah,
but it's fascinating to me how people treat it like it was Bush or 2000 in a split vote. He won two
yeah.
giant
No,
landslides.
he did. He won those elections fair and square and
He beat Walter
dominated his
Mondale
opponents.
49 to 1. But
Yeah, that's
anyways,
actually crazy.
uh what else you got for Act 3? Or do we even
Uh,
this is Act 2, sorry.
yeah, Act Two. What did I want to say? Um, oh yeah, it's always weird to me how when a parent is an asshole to their child, certain children, or to all of their children, they just are like nice as fuck to the grandkids.
Yeah, well, I've yeah, so I get it though because you parents have to say no, grandparents get to say yes. So,
Yeah.
and part of the job of being a parent is being mean, and that's
Yeah.
not in the job description of grandparent. So, but
True.
I thought that was a cool little way to humanize them. And
It was. It was. I thought it was interesting how he was like, "Oh, I've been wanting to meet you for so long," and it's like, well, you put. It sounds like you didn't put in any effort to connect with your son. I don't know what made you think he was gonna send his daughter to you.
I mean, them people in them small towns don't leave. But I will say his other two
True.
brothers seem to revere him. So,
They did. They did.
I mean, he was 2 out of 3 in sons that loved him. So Robert Downey was the outlier. And I believe if the movie was clearly told from the perspective of Robert Downey Jr. because it was a Robert Downey
Right.
Jr. vehicle. But I wish we could get like almost like a split screen because
Hmm.
I feel like we didn't get the full reason why his end of the falling out. Because again, three sides to
Yeah.
every story. Because it just
True.
strikes me as strange that the other two brothers. I mean, the other two brothers revered their dad and were skeptical of Robert Downey. So like,
Hmm.
if everybody hates you,
I mean,
what's to
maybe,
say? What did
maybe,
Jay-Z say
maybe.
to Kanye? If everybody crazy, you're the one that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
like if your whole family hates you, it can't just be they're all evil.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think the brothers felt as strongly towards him as the dad did.
No,
I
but
just think
no.
like they were. I think his older brother was just annoyed, and his younger brother was just like there, not just there, but um, yeah, I don't know. It was very interesting. I mean, they do. They always say every child has a different parent
Yeah.
in terms of like just the relationship is so different with each child. And this movie did really do a good job of showing that for sure. I know it's like that for me, and my siblings. Like some, like one parent we view one parent as a strict parent, one parent as like the fun parent, and if you ask one of my brother or sister, they may have a completely different answer.
That is true. That is true. Do you have anything else for Act Two?
Um, no, yeah, no, nothing right too.
Act 3, the verdict and the reconciliation. The trial becomes a battle of wills between father and son, forcing them to confront decades of unresolved tension and painful truths, both public and private. As Hank fights for his father's freedom, both men are forced to reevaluate their relationship and what it truly means to seek justice and familial peace. Um, I find myself wishing they had scrapped the love interest daughter stuff and given us
Yeah, me too.
more of the brothers.
Hmm.
I thought the brothers were fleshed out characters, don't get me wrong. They weren't just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
NPCs. But if you're not gonna really they didn't really do anything with the love interest. And so
Not
it,
at all.
just give me more family dynamic. If you're gonna make a 2 hour and 20 minute movie, uh, about a
Give me the people
family,
that matter.
give me the people that matter. And I just
Yeah,
one is honestly 2 hour and 20 minutes is enough runtime to do both. They could have cut up. There was a lot of
correct.
filler in here. And I
I
wish they
agree.
had changed some of that filler to give us more of the
Or just cut
interpersonal
the
dynamics
runtime
between the
down.
brothers, or just cut the runtime
Yeah.
down. So, I mean, this was clearly was this made by Warner Brothers? Who made this
Was
movie?
it?
Uh,
No, I don't think so.
who made The Judge 2014? Well, which studio?
uh, Village Roadshow Pictures, Rat Pack Dune Entertainment, and Team Downey, which is it was distributed by Warner Brothers.
Is Warner Brothers tied to Disney now?
Let's see.
Because okay, it's not owned. Warner Brothers Discovery.
No, it's not part of Disney. They're
Oh,
separate.
because my theory was
Yeah,
he went to
are
them like, I'm
separate.
tired of that suit. Y'all got to give me something, and they were like, all right,
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. Well, so
we'll give you this.
yeah, so his wife is a producer. That's how they met.
Okay,
And they together they have a production company. So they did help. They did co-produce the film.
because this was in 2014, which was like the height of Marvel, and it's just
Right.
clear that he just wanted to take a break and do some actual acting.
Yeah,
He acted his ass off. It's a great
he
movie.
acted his ass off. Um.
What you got for Act 3?
Oh yeah, so I love the part where for the opening day of this trial, you have both lawyers outside puking their guts out.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine being on like not being on trial, but being the prosecutor or sorry, the defense for my father in a manslaughter trial.
Dude, I listened to this podcast called Court Junkie, and she basically recaps court trials in an audio format.
Hmm.
And she does all the research and whatever and recordings and
Okay.
whatever. And it was about a 20-year-old cold case in Minot, North Dakota. Some girl, college girl got stabbed. No one knew who killed her. 20 years later, they charged the roommate. The damn prosecution had not, I'm listening to the podcast, and one of the things I'm big on is like the Constitution says beyond a reasonable doubt, which means no
Hmm.
reasonable person can doubt this person committed the crime. That
Right.
is clearly like, it's not, I don't like the cut of their jib. It's not, I don't like the way they, it needs to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And
Yep.
I mean, the prosecution had nothing. They like, it was like
They really
20-year-old
didn't.
cold case. They had no physical evidence, no nothing. They had an ex-boyfriend who said they was a drunk at a party and she said she did it. They had nothing. But my point is, to get
Hmm.
back to your point about how nervous they were, she stand like it's an audio format, but I could hear the eruption, so I went and found the YouTube video of
Okay.
them reading the verdict. And they're all just standing up and the jury is like, I mean, it was a dead case. It was obviously gonna be not guilty. And the jury is like, we find a defendant not guilty of charged murder. And the eruption, like I've never seen the defense attorneys were like just hugging people and she was crying. And like, man, that I just say that to say, man, could you imagine standing up and hear like and you know
Your
in the next
life.
paragraph you're either going to prison or going home. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah,
like
man.
the next paragraph that comes out of that person's mouth, I'm either
Yeah.
being handcuffed or I can go home and have dinner. That those are the two.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
insane pressure. Like,
It actually is. I don't honestly like watching this. I was like, I don't know how lawyers do it. Like,
I
I
mean,
don't, I mean, I
just
know you're trained for it, but I don't know how they do it.
will the defendant please rise? And you stand up, and you know either the next time you sit down, either you're going to prison or you're going home. Like that's it.
Right.
Like
Because you're either doing this for handcuffs or you're
yeah,
giving your friends hugs. Like,
yeah,
that's
and it's
it.
just
Like,
like the swing and emotions between that. And it's all because we find the defendant either not guilty or guilty. And between those two words, you either know
hmm.
if you can go out to eat or you're eating prison food for the next day. I just I cannot believe that kind of tension, man. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I'd throw up. I'd be throwing up the whole trial.
I
Uh,
it, it just that kind of pressure is crazy.
it is
You saw
actually.
the painting of Diddy. He collapsed on the chair.
Oh, I didn't even
They have a court
know.
because federal court doesn't allow cameras.
Right.
And there's a picture of him like just literally on the chair, like obviously crying. Like because again,
Yeah.
you stand up and you like, I can either go home or or I go to prison.
Yep.
So
I'm going to jail.
what you got for Act Three,
Yeah,
man?
man. Whew. Um. Oh yeah. So I love the scene where he's in the like police station with
Yeah,
Billy Bob Thornton, and it's just those two guys, them two talking, and he's like, everybody wants to be Atticus Finch until you're on trial for yourself.
yeah.
And so the call out to that is, did you ever see the To Kill a Mockingbird movie?
Not the movie, no.
So it came out like 60, 70, 80 years, no, 50, 60 years ago, something like that. But Robert Duvall was in that movie and he played Boo Radley, who was, of course, one
Oh
of the one
yeah.
of the Mockingbirds.
That was his
Um,
first movie credit.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Because I looked up how old he was. He's 92. So he was in his 80s when he did this movie.
Yeah.
So cause I didn't think he was still with us, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I thought he was dead too.
Uh,
I had him mixed up with James Caan. R.I.P. to him too. Um, or was it Gene Hackman? I think they both passed. Well, rest in peace to both of them. But yeah, I had
Duvall's
him
still
mixed up
with us
with
though.
yes. So love and kicking. Yeah, so I like that call out to that story. Plus, just one of the greatest pieces of American literature ever. So it's nice to see it live in perpetuity still.
I mean, it's if you went to a public school in America, you were able to read that
Yeah,
book. Like, I mean, that
right.
and Hatchet, that
Hmm.
The Giver, Hatchet,
Hatchet was my shit. Hatchet was
and
my shit, man.
what's the damn book with the dude from the 30s, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Great
Great
Gatsby.
Gatsby. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I wonder what the kids are reading today. Is it probably like
yeah, I love.
I don't know. Do they
I
still
don't
read?
know.
Do they still make kids read books? I don't know, man.
I don't know. Let's see. 6, 7. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Any listeners have
Um,
any children? Let us know
yeah,
what's
please.
required reading in grade school these
Yes,
days.
we would like to know what's on the syllabus of these days. Um,
Do you think the judge did it?
yeah, that's a good question, actually. 'Cause honestly, hmm. I mean, yeah, I think he did. I don't think he knew what he was doing. I
Yeah.
think he just was driving and thinking, or he saw him, and then I think he probably was like just drinking, not drink, sorry, just driving, and then like hit something and it just happened to be the dude because the timeline didn't make sense in terms of like, okay, so you saw him in the store, he rides his bike this way, you're driving home to go this way to the core through the quarry, but you stop and then decide to turn around. Why wouldn't you just chase him down? It didn't make any sense. So I think he hit him by accident, and it just so happened that the motive was there, so it fit.
I think he did it. I mean, all the evidence points to him. He's the only I
Car
mean
they
his
showed on
car
camera,
his car had the blood
the
on
car looked
it.
like,
No, he did it. I think he was got a little dementia, a little chemo
yeah,
brain, and
and he was at his wit's end.
I only got but 5 more years on this bitch, so I'm gonna just go ahead and
Yeah, fuck it, we ball. Yeah, I
fuck
think it was
it.
just a fucking we ball.
No, I think he did it. I think he
Yeah,
I think the jury got it right in the sense that I don't think it was premeditated murder. I think that's
correct.
overcharging. I think they got it right with
Yeah.
involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah. Also, I didn't get the scene with his mom being all like, "Oh, you killed my baby." And it's like, first of all, you visited him twice in prison.
Yeah.
Two, he was in jail for murder because he killed a teenage girl. What are we mourning here? I mean, I know it's your son,
Man.
but
But anyways, we
I
gotta wrap this
agree.
movie up, man. What else you got for Act 3?
Oh yeah, so for me, the most the scene that hit me the hardest, two scenes that hit me the hardest were the hurricane scene where him and his dad are arguing in the kitchen. And he's like, I graduated first in my class. Like, why aren't you proud of me? That one got me. And then the
Hurricanes in
scene
the
at
middle
the
of Indiana. Someone explain that
sorry,
to me.
tornado. Was
Oh,
it
it was a
tornado or
tornado. I
hurricane?
thought it was actually a hurricane in the
No, no,
movie.
tornado. My bad, I
Okay,
fucked
that
that up.
does
Yeah,
make sense in the Great
yeah.
Plains.
Um, and then the scene at the end where he's like, why him of all the people that you decided to get like all the people that you were hard on, you gave this guy a break. Why? And he said, because when I looked at him, I saw you. And then after that, he asked him, I have memory of us together all the time, and then I don't. What happened? And then he said, when I looked at you, I saw him. That scene gets me every time.
I concur. It was a great. I mean, I don't have a contentious relationship with my father. We have a great relationship, but
Okay.
to the extent that there is tensions, the movie allows you to relate to them.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
okay. Yeah, my dad relationship with my dad now is in a much better place, but we definitely had a very contentious relationship for a long time. And a lot of the tensions in this movie I like very strongly related to. So yeah, this movie always hits home for me whenever I watch it. Um, I'm
fair
just
enough.
glad that luckily my dad didn't have to get super old for us to piece it up, and you know what I mean. It won't be one of those things where you know I'll have regret and and stuff like that. So yeah, that always it's a good perspective to have now, because we went to times where we didn't talk a lot or where we weren't talking at all, but it was never a huge gap in time in the span of like my life.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I want to ask you, what'd you think of the ending scene? Not ending scene, the one of the final scenes of the movie where they're fishing and his father passes away while they're in the boat.
It was very Hollywood. That's not how people die, but it was good. It was good. Um, that's not how people die, but
Yeah,
it was cool. I mean, it was very telegraphed. You could see it from a mile away.
right.
But I thought it was a fitting. I mean, honestly, by the end, I was like, this is running long. It's time to
Yeah.
land this plane, like this podcast. But like, I thought it did what it needed to do, but it was not, high end cinema. It was telegraphed from a mile away. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, they're like, I mean,
They
they did
dropped the
everything but
candy
release
and
dubs. Like it was,
yeah.
it was like, all right, guys, we get it. He's old.
Yeah.
He's dying. Let's.
Yeah,
You
I
even
agree.
did
I
the
did like
dad. Are you
Dad,
there?
are you there?
It's like, okay,
I
no
did
points
like the
for
callback
originality.
though. True, very true. I did like the callback though with the candy because the candy wrapper that he dropped was the same candy that he gave his daughter in the beginning of the movie
Oh
when he
yeah.
was watering the hydrangea. So I thought that was a cool callback. Also, that ex-girlfriend was trash. What do you mean you fucked my brother and you didn't tell me that that was his kid like the whole time they were in the same city and you had your daughter being raised with no father figure? That was crazy.
It didn't make any sense.
Not at all.
It's
Not an
like
ounce of sense. They could have cut that whole storyline.
I- yeah, like that didn't. I would have rather they dropped that and gave us more
Yeah.
of the interpersonal connection between the brothers. But like. I don't know, you moved away and this is some chick that you hit in high school. I don't like.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I wasn't moved. Um,
Yeah.
but anything else for Act Three?
Uh, no, that was all I got.
All
What
right, what
about
do
you?
you
You
rate
got
it?
anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
Um, the runtime was a little too long, and the storylines were kind of bloated because they focused too much on the girlfriend, and we never even were sure if they ended up together or not. Um, so I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. But it's not for the act. Everything else is great. It's just the story was a little extra.
I'm going with three. Like I said, the runtime ran a little long. Some tighter editing would have been better,
Hmm.
but I saw it in the theater when it first dropped, and then this is literally the second time I've seen it since then.
Mm.
And it holds up. It's a
It
good
does hold
movie.
up. Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks for listening. My name is Darius. That's D's All Up in Your Area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordan B. Writing on all socials.
Please rate, like, subscribe. We are Out the Trunk Pod on all socials. That is Out the Trunk Pod on all socials.
And for any ongoing movie recommendations, feel free to reach out to us at outthetrunkpod@gmail.com. That's outthetrunkpod@gmail.com. That's a wrap. Thanks for coming to the movies with us. We'll be back next week reviewing Children of Men.
All right, y'all.
Y'all take care.